Good afternoon, and welcome to continuation of our webinars on a variety of subjects of your choice. Today we're going to be talking about DocuSign, and I'm going to be sharing with you how to take advantage of DocuSign for your business, especially in the world of working remotely and keeping 6 feet away from people. It's hard to do that when you get signed paper. So let's figure out how to do that digitally. DocuSign calls this digital transformation, and we are a DocuSign partner. We have looked at other solutions from other companies, been using DocuSign for about 5 years and find it to be the best solution. So we're a little bit biased towards it. And we're happy to help you get going on it. And that's what we're going to do today is basically show you how to use DocuSign. They do offer some free accounts, and then there's also some business accounts. So it's not expensive to use. It is a per user, per license, per user process. And you know, for a business or a company, it's still very reasonable to use, and we'd be happy to get you signed up and get you on a trial as well. So who am I? This is David Wolf from Just Solutions. I've been in the industry over 35 years and graduate of RIT, been in the Rochester area, obviously over 35 years now, and been in the computer field, worked for Spur Univac out of Buffalo. I was in an early ISP, Vivinet, in the 90s, and started co-founded Just Solutions in 1997 and been doing that for the past 23 years. We purchased Soyata Computers, which some of you might have heard of, back in 2015, and then we also added Astra Networks, which is a telecom company, in 2017. So we have quite a few clients and engineers in the area and been Rochester Top 100 multiple times in the past. So we're a good partner. We focus on small, medium-sized businesses. As I like to say, not the Fortune 1000, but the unfortunate 1 million. I will be taking questions at the end, and you're welcome to post your question, and I will promise I will get to it. There's also quite a few people on the call, and we will be recording this and sending out the recording if you'd like, or if you'd like the slides, you can email me at the end of the presentation. You can email us and we'll be happy to send out the PowerPoint to you as well. So I'm going to share, well, I'm already sharing my PowerPoint. Hopefully you're all seeing it. Can I get a thumbs up that everyone's seeing it? I want to make sure I don't go too much further without everyone seeing my, yep, great, thank you. It's hard when you do these things one way and you don't know if people can see everything. All right, so here's our agenda. We're going to talk about DocuSign, why paperless, really going paperless. We've been talking about the paperless for years and years, and I have my 2 cents on that as well. Set up free accounts, what you got to do to get your account set up. Apps, integrations, and e-signatures. I'm going to talk about the different potential options there for you as well. And then I am going to, as you can see, nervous, I'm going to attempt a live demo. That's always fun to do, and show you actually what it takes to do this on the fly. The reason I want to do the live demo is because the idea here is you should be able to do this during your normal day-to-day process, and I figured the best way to do that is to actually show you what that looks like, and we'll open up for Q&A as well. So why companies choose DocuSign? Choice, they have pretty much the most integrations to talk with any software. They give you the apps, web version, mobile version, pretty much any way you want to do it, any device you want to do it on, they're supporting it. They really are the Gartner Group quadrant leader in terms of their product. And I really do think it's one of the easiest to use and implement, and you can jump right in doing it. And I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you that so you can see how that works. And from a trust standpoint, DocuSign is, again, since they are doing a lot of this in the cloud, they're a trusted partner. was secure, and they meet all the compliance and security requirements. They have all the trust marks for HIPAA and all the other compliance things that you have to worry about, whether you're in financial or healthcare, you name it. DocuSign is right there with you in terms of supporting you for your compliance. So let's see some specifics. Anytime, anywhere from any device, tablets, Android, iOS, doesn't matter. They support it all. And again, that's one of the benefits of using their solution. They have a lot of integrations to all the major platforms. I will show you the Microsoft integration. I'll show you how to add it to your Outlook. But they're integrated with Google, Microsoft, Salesforce, SAP, and they also have an API for developers for corporations that want to do in-house. If you want to send out documents from your own application or do some things on your website, you can do that as well. And they support, as you can see, 188 countries and 43 different languages. So really good choice from that standpoint. Next. They have the standalone app. I'm going to show you that. That's pretty much what I use. They do have custom end-to-end workflows that you can build. That would be probably in a large corporation, custom solution, that type of thing. And then they do have a lot of integrations with industry standard apps. They have the pre-built ones. So if you're on the Google platform, Microsoft platform, not a problem. There's already integration to those. And it's pretty easy to set up. But I'm going to demonstrate the standalone. Very easy to just create your account and start using it. Their #1 rated mobile app, very easy to use in terms of literally doing a signature right on the screen on your phone or on the tablet, which is really great for mobile. Plus, they have obviously doing it on your via your email desktop application comes to your computer. So from that standpoint, hallmark of their experience is the ease of use and trust. They have 100 million plus users. I guess 100 million users were the people that would be signing it. Maybe you've already been on the receiving end of a DocuSign document. And one of the things I recommend when you create your own little account, that's a great place to store these documents that you're signing electronically. So they end up being there for you for the future. You'll see with my account, when I get into the demo portion, you'll see I have documents going back 5 years. And when I can't find them in my paper files, which basically don't exist anymore, now that I'm going digital, you'll see that that's exactly where you store them. One of the options you have. So we're not talking document management per se. I'm not really getting into a document management system. I'm not really focusing on how you handle your digital documents, whether it's with SharePoint or some application that you invest in for storing and searching and finding documents. That's not what this presentation is all about. This presentation is really talking about dealing with a problem we're all going to have now that we have to work from home and not coming in the office. Is you're not going to be printing to a printer, and you're not going to be handing documents to a customer to sign in person. You're going to need to do it electronically. So that's exactly why I'm sharing this with you. The other thing you can think of is if you want to save money, you may only designate a few people in your office to be the person to generate this. Yes, it costs you per user to create this, but if you're, again, trying to keep your costs down, you could designate just a few people, administrative staff or management staff that get accounts in DocuSign, and they're the ones that initiate the emails. Just a food for thought in terms of how to deal with that, because you may find, wait, this is too expensive to deploy across all my users. So again, that's a business decision, but I'm just sharing with you there are workarounds. So paperless, really, well, paper, I believe, this is my professional opinion, paper is going to be around for many years to come. But the reality is managing paper is expensive. Whether you have paper files, pay for shredding services, worrying about, think about security of documents, security of payroll files, security of credit card information, all that. Anything on paper that has to get touched, passed along, and managed is expensive. Whether you store it in a file cabinet, put it in a banker's box, send it away to Iron Mountain, whether you scan it, store it in a document management system, pay for a shredding service, you name it, Dealing with paper is a pain. Coronavirus has really emphasized this now. We're really in the midst of a crazy change in the business world environment right now that we're dealing with, and that's another reason that's putting pressure on using digital electronic documents. And the speed of business. Business is at the speed of the internet now. People expect instantaneous things. If you're sending them a quote, why not have them accept it immediately and turn it around and send it back to you? I promise you, after I get through the DocuSign salesy pitch, I will be demonstrating the product and spending most of the time on that. So here's the reality of what it's going to do for you. Organizations that are high on their digital maturity have a higher operational maturity, and what that means is they're more efficient and their margins are higher, they're more profitable, and you can see that across not just the technology sector, but a lot of companies where you've seen them really get advanced, and you see enterprise or the car places going digital, and you see the hotels no longer shoving bills under your doors, and they're going digital on your bills and sending them to your email. Everyone really is trying to move towards a digital world, and what are you going to do in terms of dealing with that? So this is a great way to get your dip your toe into this digital transformation that's occurring with paper, and I think it's a great place to start, especially with what your needs are going to be today. So what's the experience? It should be smoother, faster, clearer. It's how many times you have to do those little tabby things on paper documents, sign here, sign here. I remember doing that and then still getting my bank telling me I missed a couple spots that I had to sign on the paper documents. Most recently, I was dealing with an insurance company, and I'm not kidding you, they must have shoved 10, 15 documents under my nose that I had to sign. Very time consuming, really wasteful. For both their time and my time. If they had did it digitally, it would have went a lot quicker and a lot smoother, and I wouldn't be waiting for my copies, which I still don't have. They basically said, we'll be sending you copies of everything and creating a packet for you, and I still don't have that packet. So the paper world is not a great customer experience, and you will see a return on investment for your business by going digital, and also you'll fall right into security and compliance because of the Congress Act, digital signatures are legal and binding. And by staying digital and doing encryption and transferring things electronically encrypted, you're actually doing a better job with security than paper documents. So DocuSign is excellent for the enterprise, and you have to start thinking about by departments where you might be able to use it, whether it's working with suppliers. I'll show you an example of that. Whether it's dealing with your employees, I'll give you an example of that. Whether it's working with your customers, I'll give you an example of that. Or even consumer signatures in terms of getting something signed in the field and getting a document signed on a tablet instead of on a piece of paper on a work ticket. So you don't have to be a big company to take advantage of this. I really think that enterprise really means any business enterprise. I don't think this is really just a Fortune 1000 solution at all. And like I said, I've been using it now for quite some time. So the way the process works is you create your document however you do, and then you are filling in data on that. That data may come from an application. It may be coming from the client, a customer, or vendor that fills it in, and then you're deciding on the workflow, where it goes. Who gets the document first, who has to sign off, who it goes to next, who should then get a copy of it. You can create standard signatures. You can create standard templates that make it easy to reuse and redo over time. And then you get nice reporting, retention, and audit trails, so you can see who's touched the document and seen the document. They actually have a whole platform just for contract management. So if you're in an organization that deals with a lot of contracts and contract management, such as renewals, maybe leases, rental property, anything that requires possible renewals and signups and that type of thing, you could create a whole workflow for documents or contract maintenance through this. It is an open framework, and they've done a really great job of making their product universal and probably, like I said, probably the most widely accepted one over Adobe or anyone else's. So let's talk a couple little quick success stories. These are small what I would call smaller, medium-sized businesses instead of your Fortune 1000. But you have an insurance agency. The time, like I said, if what Statler Group found out was they were able to reduce their contract turnaround time by sending the agreements out electronically. It saved a ton of time in administrative hours with the digitally signed documents, and the employees loved it. It really cut down a lot of their headaches for out in the field. Signing documents. Credit unions, they use it for membership signups. They use it for any kind of contract renewal, any forms. Instead of making people print out paper forms, fill them in and bring them the, and I can tell you, I deal with local banks locally and they're still doing it. It's frustrating. They make you do a personal financial statement and it's on paper. And then, 2 years later, they want another one. And you got to do it all over again. So if they went digital, it would be so much easier because they could even send you the original copy and say, hey, give us a new version updated of your personal financial statement or that type of thing for your business credit line or those kinds of things. Construction. If you've ever done change orders or you are doing quotes and you need customers to sign off on things, going digital is obviously a great way to do that for the construction industry. And Reed Construction, fast-growing company, really found it as a benefit to use it. So these are just a few of the examples. And now I am going to attempt a live demo. So I'm going to stop sharing my PowerPoint, and I am going to switch over to actual my desktop, and hopefully there won't be any nasty pop-ups or questionable things on my on my desktop for you. I'm going to leave that slide. I can't really leave that slide up, but we'll come back to this slide so you can capture my contact information. So let's switch over now, and we're going to get out of the PowerPoint. So you probably don't see anything right now. Give me a second. I am going to share back my screen here and show you my Chrome. Okay, how about a thumbs up? You've got my Chrome. So let me know that you're seeing that. Thank you. Okay, so as you can see, I have DocuSign here as one of my little favorites that I go to. And so I'm going to open up my DocuSign and log in. We use LastPass. I'm thinking that's going to be one of our next seminars, teach you guys how to use LastPass and get your employees using password managers. Again, another free webinar. We'll probably do that next week. So watch your email for that one. I'm going to sign in here. And we're going to bring up the my account in DocuSign. As you can see, I've got a signature in here that I put in here. I don't have any actions waiting for me, anything I have to really do right now. We'll go across the top. We got home. We can manage our account, create templates, run reports, and in my case, I can administer the account for the company, and I can add users and make some default settings. Very powerful features and settings in here, and I'll kind of go through a few of those later. But let's show you how easy it is to do this. What I did earlier is I just put some documents in a folder on my desktop, and I'm just going to use a typical scenario. Maybe one of your vendors asks you for a W-9. Does everyone know what a W-9 is? Well, W-9 you'll see in a second, but we'll drop that in here. And all I did was drag and dropped it. I could have searched and found the file and added it, but I just dragged and dropped it, and here it is. Now, here's an example of a form that maybe I'm the only signer for this form. I'm going to send the W-9 to them, but I have to fill it out and sign it and give it to them. So I can literally click, say, I'm the only signer, right? So I'm not asking someone else to sign it. I'm just going to create this is a standard government document. I downloaded from the IRS, and it's a PDF, and now I'm going to just fill it in and say I want to sign it and send it off to someone. So what's it do? It goes and builds it all the way already, and it shows me the document. So I can hit continue, and then I can go in and fill this in. Now, if you come over here, we have different fields. So what's the name? We can come up here and drop in the company name. We can come in here and do a checkbox. We're an S Corp. We can come in and put our address in here. Oh wait, I don't have address to choose from. So let me just do it, grab a text box, drag it over, fill in my address. Grab another text box, drop it in, fill that in. Could I have created this in advance? Sure. I just want to show you how easy it is to do it on the fly too. And then I'm not going to fill this in, but you can drop in your numbers or whatever. And then the beauty is you can come down and drop in your signature. Now look what it does. It already has my signature on file. I drop it right in there. I can come in here and drop in the date signed. Boom. I just created a legal binding document. Hit finish. It says, who do you want to send it to? Now, I'm going to send it over to Allison. I can put it a subject and message, send and close, done. That's how easy it is to take any document and send it through DocuSign. So if someone sends you a form and tells you to fill it out, don't print it out, fill it out on paper, then go back to the copier and scan it. You can fill it out right in DocuSign. Now, what's this look like? I'm going to jump over and share my Outlook. Stop sharing here. We're going to switch screens, jump over to my Outlook, and we're going to scroll down. Let's close this mailbox and let's go to Astra Networks mailbox, inbox, and this is what I got. This was the request I got. It says, hey, we sent you a copy, review the document. I go and look at it. There it is, filled in with my signature on it. That's what Allison got on the other end. And what else did it do? It sent me a copy to myself. So I set that up automatically. Look, try DocuSign for free. So that's what I'm telling you is this is a great time to sign up and get a 30-day trial. We'll be happy to do that with you. You can do it directly or you can do it through us, either way. So here's my library of documents, and I showed you, let's get out of my email and let's get back over to DocuSign because I don't think it showed you. So when I opened up the window, I keep forgetting it's not going to do that. Let me change this and share the whole desktop. So when I opened that document and it opened a new window, you didn't see that. Now, hopefully you're seeing this. Can I get a thumbs up that you're seeing the document finished? All right, thank you. Sorry about that. So that's how easy it is. That's how quick it comes up, literally on the fly. Now, let's go back and do another one. I showed you how you could fill in a form. Now, let's say you want someone else to fill in a form or a standard document. I'm not going to make it complicated, but let's just go in and show filling in something that requires a signature. Maybe you want your client to fill out your customer needs to fill in a tax exempt form. Or maybe you want to do an employee. Let's do an employee. Meanwhile, you know what? Before we do that, while we're waiting, I'm going to show you something. While we're doing this, I'm going to do something in our Outlook. So while we're doing that other document, something can be happening in the background. I opened up Outlook and I'm going to say go get add-ins. So I'm going to click on here and say go get an add-in. This takes me to the Microsoft Store, and I can search and say, hey, I'm looking for DocuSign. Oh, there it is. So I'm going to tell it to add it to my system. It says already added. You turn around and you add it to your system. You click on it and add, and then it will show up in your tools. I turned it off just so I could show you what it looked like when I went into Outlook. And then there it is. So now you have DocuSign, and you can actually do DocuSign within Outlook. So this is how they do the integration. So you could take an email, someone sends you something and you need to fill it out. You can take any document that comes in your email and do it right from within DocuSign or right from within Outlook. You can use the add-on feature and sign a document from inside of Outlook. Really kind of cool, especially if you need to send someone authorization from an email and they send you a form via Outlook. So back to here, I'm going to go start a new envelope. So I'm going to come home, and this is the starting point. All you have to do to start now is click this button here. And it comes up with a little WYSIWYG and says drop your files here, or you can upload them. So you can drag and drop just by pulling it from your file. If you can see my file manager over here, I can grab and drop this over here. Now, this document is a Word document. I personally like to work in PDFs. I don't really want to send people a Word document that they can edit. So what you might do is open up the document, because this is an offer letter. So maybe I open up this offer letter and I fill it all in. Or maybe I use merging capability and I merge my document and I create my document and I say, okay, I got my, I edited this template, this template in Word. I got it the way I want it. And I say, okay, now I want to turn around and send it to this new future employee. So I turn around and I save my file and I tell it to save it as a PDF. So I'm going to save it as a PDF. I'm going to put it right back in that same folder. So the idea is you went into Word, you customize this letter in Word, but now when I'm done editing it, so I made the changes I wanted in this letter from Word, I saved it as a PDF. So now I'm just going to close that document, and I'm going to come over and grab that PDF and drop it right in here. So now I just took that template that I customized, that standard letter, whether I merged it from Word or from other system, doesn't matter. I brought it into the document, and now I'm not checking this box here because I am not the only signer. I want them to sign it. So now I hit next, and it says, okay, who's the first one that needs to sign it? Well, we're going to be offering Allison a new position. And we're going to put in our email. And then I can turn and add another recipient if I needed it. Okay. And I'm saying right here, she needs to sign this document, and I'm going to go over some of these other items. I'm going to add another one. You can pull it from your contacts. And I'll pull myself, and I don't need to sign it, but I want to receive a copy. So now I got set the signing order. Now I just created a workflow. Allison's got to sign it, and then I need to receive it. If I needed to sign it first, I could put myself first. If you had multiple people on this, you could list the multiple people that need to sign it, put it in the right order, and you just created a workflow. How easy is that? So now Allison will sign it. When she's done signing it, I will get a copy of it. Let's look at some other options I have. I can come over more, and I can say I want to add access authentication. I want to password protect it. I can add more people here, and I can change the signing order. But now I'm done. This is the first step, add recipient. So I'm going to hit the yellow next button, and it brings up that document. Now like I said, we already edited this document earlier, and now I have my choices over here. So what do I want to do? On a document like this, I would like them to initial every page. So I'm going to drop in initial, and I'll come down here and say, hey, initial this page. I'm going to come down and say, I want you to sign right here. So I put a signature line in here. And I want it date signed. And I don't know if I really need another initials on the bottom, but if I wanted initial, I could. If I wanted them to have to check something, I could. If I wanted to have a checkbox and a signature somewhere, I could. I could add a note. I could add anything I want if you look at the little standard fields. And there's custom fields you can create too, which is so cool. So this system is so flexible, and the administrator can create custom fields across the company. You can create your own custom fields for yourself. So now, what did I just do? I literally already, oh, by the way, and you can switch between signatures if you have multiple people. Yellow is your first one, blue would be the next one. If you went back to that envelope, you would have noticed it would do different colors. And so it can track who's got to do something. So if I want to initial these two, I could say, well, someone else needs to initial it, and I can tell it who I want to initial it. So you have multiple signers, you can literally do multiple for initialing. Maybe you both have to initial a change in the paragraph. Maybe you wanted to cross something out. Maybe you wanted to add a radio button or a checkbox. This is it. I'm done. I literally took that letter, I saved it as a PDF, I edited it, saved it as a PDF, and now I dropped in my signature lines, and I hit next. Now I can put a custom message in here, subject, message. I could type, okay? And look at this little feature, send auto reminders. I like to do this. Hey, I'm sending you this offer. I'm gonna remind you every day until you sign it. Well, maybe I want the offer to end. Maybe I don't want to give her too much time to sign it. So I can come over, edit, options, and I can say, hey, this envelope is gonna expire in 3 days. So, that was 5, I do 3. So she'll get this email, she'll get reminded every day to sign this, and it'll automatically expire in 3 days. Think how great that is if you're in the real estate business, real estate industry, and you have offers only good for so many times. Maybe your quote's only good for 10 days, 15 days, 30 days. You don't want these things hanging out forever. You can literally put an expiration date on it. Do you want the recipient to be able to change their signing responsibility? Again, this is a global setting, or in this case, I set it to allow you to do that. Center custom settings. You can have custom emails and languages for each recipient. How wild is that if you deal with multilingual type of environment? So here it is built, and I literally hit send and it's off and running. That's it. I can add a private message as well, but there you go. That message goes off. Allison gets it. I set my envelope. That's how quickly and easy it is to do that. So now I'm going to open up to questions. I wanted to show you really how easy it is to create a document yourself that you can send out, and then also show you how easy it is to create your own custom document that someone has to fill in and send back to you. So when I go back to my home and I go look at my manage, I'm going to see there's what I sent out. I sent a document to Allison for that, and I'm going to see what's sent, and I'm going to see what's waiting for signature. Hopefully she's not so fast she already did it. She probably did it already. But if she would accept it, well, it says waiting for others right now, and it tells me when it's going to expire. So these are my documents that I've done. And if you go down and look, it goes back to 2015, like I said. You can, they're all saved. You can bring them up at any time and find them. And then you can also void them, or they could be expired. This one, there's one I have here that got expired. When I sent to someone, they expired out the agreement. So this shows my history, and then you can also build templates. So you can create standard templates that people can use, such as support agreements, and then you can upload them and send them out. You have reports. They like to promote how paper is reducing the carbon footprint. If your company has a carbon initiative, this is a great way to help work towards that, and it will track how you're doing in terms of your usage. And then there's a lot of different reports you can run. Under administrative, you have your billing profiles. You can set up multiple users. You can set groups and permissions, and then you can set all kinds of features in terms of signing settings, email preferences, document retention, you name it. Integration keys. Hey, do you want to send a document that includes payment? Sure, come in here, enable payments. I only have PayPal here, but now I have PayPal enabled, and I can actually send out a document requesting a payment from PayPal. It can be attached right to it. So if you're already doing electronic payments, there's a very good chance the company you're working with has a payment gateway, and you can integrate it with DocuSign. Pretty powerful stuff. Okay. I frequently use my iPad and find the iPad lacks many of the features of desktop has, such as search function. your iPad, there are keypad covers that are available for iPad, which should help in that. But there's not too much. You should be able to pretty much do everything on an iPad that you need to, including in the DocuSign. Obviously, writing out letters and things is harder unless you have a keyboard. But pretty much all the features I'm showing you, you can do. You should be able to do on an iPad without an issue. Any other questions regards to DocuSign? I'll put up my slide with information on here. And like I said, please just email us if you'd like to get a copy of the presentation. Be happy to help you that. And then tomorrow we're doing a free training session at 2 o'clock on Teams and how to use Teams for your company. And I will be explaining the difference of Teams versus Zoom versus Skype for Business versus some of the other platforms to understand how you can take advantage of Teams. And by the way, both these companies, here's the 30-day free from DocuSign right now. There's also some free versions of Teams available if you're not using it. Again, all because of this crisis, the companies are making a lot of nice offers right now for this type of sharing. Does Allison need the DocuSign to sign and return? Actually, no. She will be asked if she wants to create an account. The benefit of her creating an account is it will save any documents she signs in her own account, but the account is free. So no, you don't have to have a DocuSign account in order to sign and send back a document. But like I said, they'll give you one for free, and it's a great place to store your documents that you've signed. What is the cost? The cost, instead of me guessing at it, let's just go look at their website. They have a few different plans. Individual plans, $10 a month, $25 is what I use, and then there's Business Pro. So I'm using the standard, and you have can pay annually, which you get a discount, or you can pay monthly, it costs you a little bit more. So again, if you want to save a little money, prepay, and it'll drop your price down. If you're not sure you're going to want to keep this, start off monthly, switch to annual whenever you're ready. So you don't have to, commit to a year if you're just going to try this out and maybe use it during this whole mess that we're in. But again, it's very affordable. Yes, absolutely. What are the settings? The question is, can you set up DocuSign so a person is not able to print it out? Yep. That's a really nice feature. You can come in here and you can say document. Let's see, I think it's under this one. You can say not allow recipients to sign on paper. Nope. Not allowed to sign on paper. Allow senders to override sign on paper. Nope. You can uncheck those. So no, you can make it so it's not going to be signed on paper and they're not going to be able to print it out. There's other ways they can get copies of it. So yes, I mean, screen pictures and screen captures and other things, but if we're talking legitimately printing it, no, that won't be an option. Obviously there's other ways they could capture the image or do things of that sort, but you can prevent them from forwarding it. You can prevent them from printing it or legitimately printing it and require it to be electronic. Any other questions? We'd be happy to get you set up on this. Like I said, if you think the pricing, well, I can't do this for everybody in the company. That was my thought. And when I looked at it, I said, well, I can't really do this, but then who do I really need to have this? Do I just need to have someone in finance, someone in HR, some sales admin? Who really needs to be the person to send these out? So why not funnel it through a sales assistant, sales admin, office admin, HR department, finance department, give them the ability to do this, to create and send the documents. And as long as it's a drop and go PDF, you can do that. By the way, you can have your own personal account. If you're going to go 3 or more users, I would recommend you contact us and we can get you set up and get you some better pricing than the website for that as well. And then you can get into, under the business thing, you can get into the personalized branding. You can literally go in under the admin, and you can go into branding, and you can brand your document for your business and create a whole look and feel for what you want it to look for. You can create the colors for it, you can create the name on it, and you can create a theme, and you can change the colors and the look and feel of this theme as you want. So you have options here, and that you know, obviously that's nice to make it your own company brand. As you've seen, some big companies have done that. You can also create some custom headers and footers and things of that sort if you want to do your own branding. And you mix and match. That's a good question. Yes, they would just not share the same templates or same database. So you can have individual accounts which are less money, but as a corporation, you're not going to have control over that individual account. You're not going to have, for instance, if I come over to my users, you don't have groups and permissions unless you're using the business version. You won't see these options in an individual account, and you won't be able to control someone else's individual account. So the reason for having the corporate amount is to do that. And yeah, you can mix pro users and non-pro users. There's a different feature sets that you lose out here in that you don't get with the standard. Again, but we'd have to talk to them, and then they even have all the advanced integrations, connectors, APIs, and all that kind of stuff for building custom solutions for larger business or integrating into, say, an existing purchase order ERP system, that type of thing. Personally, I really like working with the PDFs. I did not try to integrate this inside of ConnectWise, which is our tool, but I could easily take any document produced out of ConnectWise, a customer sign-off sheet or whatever, and instantly make it a DocuSign document. No, I haven't run into any limits on how long a document can be. That's I'm not sure. We'd have to dig in their technical guide to see if they have some kind of file size limit, but I doubt you're going to be, unless you really are building bigger than 50 meg files. I think you can even have it sign, you know, CAD drawings, architectural plans. You want sign offs on blueprints, you name it. I think they integrate with a lot of, they're not just PDF. I know I talk about my ease of use, but they support a lot of different document formats. So if you're using Excel forms or using Word forms, or you need drawings signed off or whatever, you can do DocuSign on a lot of different document formats, especially if you're dealing with change orders or architect plans and things of that sort, quoting systems, you name it. Well, a lot of great questions. I hope you all found this to be useful presentation. I am trying to keep doing these training seminars every week. Any topics you'd like to learn, these are going to be free webinars, and my goal is to just help everybody that's working from home be more productive, and in some ways take advantage of this crazy time to maybe learn some new skill sets that helps everyone do more of their business. So some things I'm looking at doing is doing some training on LastPass, which is a password manager, which we really like. And we can do other topics. I'm doing Teams tomorrow, 2 o'clock. And then if people are looking to do anything else, I'm trying to come up with more ideas. Just email them to us, and we'll be happy to consider your topic and make a webinar out of it. So again, thanks for joining me today, and everyone stay healthy.